Hello everyone, my name is Afan and you don't know how the internet works. Internet is something we use every day. Every single task in our lives, from the most basic to the most complex, can be related to the internet. And let's be real, everyone at least once in their lives has thought so as to how it works. It's not like complex things like this can come into existence on their own. No, it is an invention. It has its own history, its own evolutions. Today, we will be discussing the history, evolutions, management, security. At its simplest, the internet is just a very large network of computers connected to each other. Instead of having one central system, it is made up of millions and millions of devices like routers, cables, computers, personal devices connected to each other through an imaginary thread, communicating instantly. Now, all this started in the 1960s when the US Department of Defense created the ARPANET, ARPANET, or the Advanced Research Projects Agency Network, and gave it the task of creating a communication system with such capabilities that it would still be able to work if parts of it were destroyed. Then we come to the 1980s. Keep in mind, till this time, the internet was used strictly for defense purposes. Then comes Tim Berners Lee, who created the World Wide Web, which made using the internet much easier. A quick detour to what the WWW is. Think of it as a very large fishing net in which the points of intersection are the websites that we use. Coming back to topic, this is the time of the big boom of the internet. After the invention of the great WWW, the world slowly started accommodating and adjusting to the internet. Universities started using it for projects and other resources. Entering the 1990s, emails and websites slowly started to be used by the majority public and not just the official workers. Entering into 2000s came the dawn of social media, which is still an integral part of both our lives and the internet. Entering into 2010s came the concepts of cloud computing and streaming, which made the use of the internet a necessity. Moving on to the management of the internet. It is not something that is, or for the matter, can be controlled by one government or one corporation, no matter how big it is, due to its vast dynamics and large size. Instead, it is something that is controlled by many different corporations put together. For example, the ICANN, or the Internet Corporation on Assigned Names and Numbers, that takes care of distribution of all the domain names, for example .com, .org, .in, etc. The Internet Engineering Task Force has taken on the duty of developing high technical standards for the internet to prevent it from any crashes, errors, etc. The Internet Society fosters healthy community development of the usage of the internet. Now, moving on to the final aspect of today's topic. How secure is the internet? Well, let's just say that the internet is designed to be fairly secure but not completely safe. It uses encryption, which means your data is always scrambled up before it reaches the intended reader so that only they can read it. This is how passwords, payments, and other important things are kept safe on the internet. However, considering that the internet is just a big net of many devices connected together, there is always a risk of hackers, malware, and other types of breach of security affecting your data, especially if the website that you use does not have proper safety practices and meets the required guidelines. Now, I understand that the methods of keeping your device safe on the internet are the same as they are everywhere. But the problem is that we take none of them seriously. A good, strong password comprising of uppercase, lowercase letters, numbers, and symbols is necessary. The less logical, the better. And no, PASSWORD is not a good password. That is like something that can be broken down in the first wave of a brute force attack on your computer. Always look for websites that start with HTTPS. Yes, HTTPS, not HTTP. It is a very simple thing that people overlook, but the S here stands for secure. While not compulsory, it is always better to have an antivirus software in your computer. There are paid and free versions of it available on the internet to eliminate all risk of being monitored. So there we go. We can tick off the first of many hows on this channel. I will meet you guys in the next video. Thank you very much.